This is House Connect, your bi-monthly program on CRTV. On today's edition of the program, we shall be focusing on the economic, financial, social and cultural program of the states for 2024, presented in Parliament by the Prime Minister and Head of Government, Joseph John Gute. What are the priorities of government for this year, and what is the perception of the lawmakers at the National Assembly and at the Senate? You will be having details on today's edition. Amongst others, we shall be having slots like what the speakers have been up to, what's new in Parliament, and our guest, who is Honourable Emmanuel Bagme. Don't go away, we'll be right back in a jiffy. The President of the Senate, Marcenian Jifenje, and the House Speaker, the Right Honourable KAWEB, although on recess and in their constituencies, have been involved in quite a number of activities. Let's get details of the actions coming up soon.
Yaoundé, Cameroon, precisely the Unity Palace, this Friday, January 5, the diplomatic family and the national dignitaries gather. The occasion is the presentation of New Year wishes ceremony to the President of the Republic, Paul Biya. Amongst the 35 national dignitaries delegations for the occasion are the bureaus of the National Assembly and the Senate. The Bureau of the Senate is headed by the Senior Vice President Abubakari Abdullahi, while that of the National Assembly is led by House Speaker, the Right Honourable KAWEB, who in turn receives New Year wishes the next day, Saturday, January 6, at his official residence here in Yaoundé. To present the 2024 New Year wishes ceremony to the third state personality by constitutional protocol and 9 delegations. The first is composed of the Bureau of the National Assembly, headed by the Senior Vice President, Honorable Hilarion Eton, followed by the parliamentary group of the largest party at the National Assembly, the ruling Cameroon's People Democratic Movement, as well as other political parties represented at the National Assembly, such as the Social Democratic Front. Other delegations are those of the Cabinet of the House Speaker, headed by the Director of Cabinet, Buka Abdurrahim, the General Secretariat by the newly installed Secretary General, Andre Noel Essian, the Office of the Quaestors, who control the finances of the House, the protocol, and the security team of the House Speaker, KAWEB. And just a few days after this, the Office of the House Speaker gathered specifically to commune with their boss for a traditional yearly event. At the occasion, the House Speaker, Honorable KAWEB, enjoined them to massively ensure Cameroonians enroll on voter lists to ensure the victory of their party leader, Paul Biya, in the next presidential elections. KAWEB cautioned them to master the adverse effects of social media based on House information leaked, as it generates hate speech unneeded now, according to him.
Cameroon's economic, financial, social and cultural program for the 2024 fiscal year is undoubtedly one that was drafted with a strong consideration of the fairly unfavorable international and national realities. Hikes in oil prices, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, as well as security and health threats, that notwithstanding, government is pursuing its vision as outlined in the National Development Strategy 2030, reiterated by the Prime Minister, Head of Government, Joseph John Gute. In the public works sector, where the lion's share of the 2024 state budget has been dedicated to, over 2,561 kilometers of earth road will be rehabilitated.
A comprehensive analysis of the government economic and social program of 2024 by the Prime Minister, Head of Government, took into consideration several aspects, including local economic development. The government this time around paid a lot of attention to road infrastructure. I was so happy when I heard the Prime Minister presenting the Sab-Gandop road, which falls within the armpit of the ring road in the northwest region.
The government has been very realistic, given the increase of the budget this year. Only 13 billion CFA of increase is going this year to be more serious on controlling the expenditures.
With regard to the safeguarding of public funds, beyond initiating technical assistance protocols, binding the Supreme State Audit Office to companies and public bodies, inspection missions on public contracts will know a significant increase in 2024.
The manner in which contracts will be awarded to charlatan contractors will not be there again. Now there will be contractors that will be designed, that they will be rest assured that they have the financial capability, the material capability, and they will be able to do the job. There will be stringent controls.
The proactive pursuit of the decentralization process, strengthening security on the national territory and at borders, as well as ensuring the stability and resilience of the economy, are government's priorities this year. The role of Parliament in the control of government action cannot be undermined. Apart from legislating, members of the National Assembly and the Senate have been keen on knowing how ministerial departments have been functioning in the last couple of months. They've been concerned about the security situation in the country, about the provision of social amenities, and also about education.
The socio-political crisis in the northwest and southwest regions remain a preoccupation to many a lawmaker. A purported engagement between Cameroon and Canada came under sharp scrutiny in Parliament, a question of Honorable Jean-Michel Ninche addressed by the government representative.
The Canadian minister speaking for the Canadian government and the Minister of Communications speaking to the Cameroonian government never had any engagement. Not formal, not informal. The next question, have there been meetings and peace talks between leaders of Anglophone separatist groups and representatives of the government under the auspices of the Canadian government? No, and categorically no.
The program to support the renovation and development of vocational training in agriculture, livestock and fisheries sectors is clarified, with 69.2 billion CFA francs already injected into the project. The Minister of Livestock, Fisheries and Animal Husbandry, Dr. Tiger, intimates that the primary objective is to promote youth employment and industries growth. Although the state is resolutely involved in improving the performance of small and medium-sized enterprises, the lawmakers question the trend covered.
The support that our ministry has been providing to SMEs since 2014 is amounting to almost 6 billion CFA francs. Each region has its own comparative advantages in terms of value chains, and if that support is provided by the regional council, this will generate a more conducive environment for the development of SMEs at the regional level.
So far, more than 1,000 small and medium-sized enterprises have received financial support worth over 744 million CFA francs, spread across 138 council areas in the country.
You're welcome back. Our guest on House Connect today is the President of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the National Assembly. He is also the CPD Member of Parliament from Ketunjia South constituency in the Northwest region. You're welcome, Honorable.
Thank you, Esther.
It's a pleasure to have you on House Connect.
That's also my pleasure to be here with you.
Members of the public know that there are 9 general committees, but they don't know how these committees function. So today, having you as guests on the program is going to enable them know how these commissions function.
Once the Chairman's Conference decides which committee is competent to examine a particular draft, it is sent to that committee, and then the Secretariat of the National Assembly programs the when that bill will be scrutinized in the committee, and those bills are distributed. First of all, after the Chairman's Conference, we have a plenary where the bill is now tabled to the full house. And after that, the committee is scheduled to work.
How do you organize your work?
Try to look through the bills privately, and in the committee now, when we sit, we elect a rapporteur, and my duty as the chairperson is to coordinate debate. And you know our debates are in camera. At the level of the committee, the members are free to ask any question related to the subject matter. For as many times as they want, we discuss and we settle on certain issues that could be put in the report.
And it is vital to highlight that these exchanges are done between the 20 members of your committee and a member of government who is there to defend the bill.
Yeah, in the committee, you have the 20 members that make up the committee, and then you have the government bench.
In the last session, the ordinary session of November, amongst the 8 bills that were adopted at the National Assembly, your committee scrutinized 5 of them, 2 of which were defense and security agreements and accords. Tell us about them.
It had to do with military cooperation, I said, defense, security issues, exchange of information, training, military medical operations, and what have you. What we perceived from the accord was the diversity of our cooperation. As the head of state once said, that Cameroon is not the private hunting reserve of any person. So the Cameroon government or the state of Cameroon is trying to diversify its military cooperation with friendly nations.
And do you think agreeing to such accords is going to in any way impact the security situation in a country? Here I'm talking about the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions.
Well, more or less, because the process where security and defense personnel are trained, their capabilities are updated, capacity building, information technology exchange, and medical techniques are made available. They definitely improve the approach to crisis situations like the one we're having.
You and your committee members have a wide range of issues that come to your table through bills. You come from diverse backgrounds, diverse trainings, so you definitely do not have the expertise in handling some of those issues. What do you do at the level of your committee to empower your members and to build their capacity so that they're in the right frame of mind to examine and even understand some of these legal instruments that come to your table?
It is true that the 20 members of our committee comes from diverse background. We are elected. Election doesn't mean that you are trained to know everything. So what we do to make up the lapses that we might have is that we organize every session. We have a capacity building session. We invite experts in the various fields that we judge important to come and talk to us and enlighten us about the in-depth of certain things, and from there we are able to build our capacity and forge ahead with our work.
Apart from being the chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee at the National Assembly, you also happen to be the lead of the Parliamentary Network for the Promotion of Investments. What terrain have you covered so far? We've
covered quite a large number of domains. The last one being the Cameroon National Development Plan that we work elaborately with the government particularly. The promotion of investment is a dynamic process. If you observe for some time now, every year before the finance law is finalized and tabled in Parliament, there is a meeting between the government and GCAM, which is the employers association, if I may call. Those are some of the suggestions we made.
And still in relation to investments, the diaspora is being encouraged to come back to Cameroon and invest, to actually give out their skills and their know-how. You are the special advisor to the Parliamentary Network for the Diaspora and Decentralized Cooperation. What role do you play?
Each time we have a meeting or we have a situation, we consult, and I can give my point of view on what can be done. And this idea came up because we realized that most of our compatriots who happen for one reason or the other to have settled out of the country for a long time. Some of them has made their name out there. And when we look around the African nation, we see the amount of money or investment that the diaspora bring back to the economy. It is huge. And when we made a comparative analysis, we realized that we were lacking behind. Whereas Cameroonian diaspora is very dynamic out there. So we had to devise a means to be able to attract them and see what was their problem. And we noticed that some of them come here and they complain of them being scammed by people, administrative bottlenecks and all that.
What would you say should be done by governments in order to ward off some of these bottlenecks?
The first proposal was that they should put in a one-stop shop, business creation unit in the country where somebody who comes from abroad don't have to move from one office to another. I think that office is operational. Yeah, many have come and gone through it. We had other issues to curb also the issue of corruption and scamming of people coming from abroad. Our office plays the role of a facilitator.
People want to come and invest, they need a piece of land to invest in.
And so we've had a long working session, several working sessions with the ministry in charge of land tenure, the experts, the legal expert, to assist them in how they proceed with the acquisition of that land, because a lot of you know better than me, there are a lot of crooks in that domain. To make essentials of the professional in real estate domain that we interact with. We know their capabilities, and then we have a short list that we put at the disposal of the diasporans who are coming.
When one listens to you, one would be mistaken that the Honorable Emmanuel Bagmi is simply concerned about his work as chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee, as chair of the Network for the Promotion of Investments, and also special advisor for people from the diaspora. But then the mere fact that you're back in Parliament, you're on your third mandate, shows that you have a direct link with your constituency. So it's time for us to talk about the things you've done recently as lawmaker of Ngoketunje South.
Actually, to be in Parliament, I must come from my constituency. I'm sent here by my constituents, so I can't play with it. Given the difficult situation, we do the little that we can do to keep in touch with the constituency. I must say that within the recent past, I have ensured the construction of 4 major bridges in my constituency: electrification, water projects, and of course, equipment of our health centers. For instance, you might want to know that our hospital has been electrified through solar kit.
Which hospital is that?
The subdivisional hospital of Balikumbat has been electrified through solar kits to attenuate the frequent cuts of light. We also provided health equipment to those medical facilities. In the General Hospital in Balikumbat, the health center in Bafanji, and we are currently finalizing the construction of a health center in Baligashi, in one of our village in our constituency.
Executing all these projects has definitely not been a smooth ride, especially with the crisis. How have you gone around it to ensure that these things are done in spite of the crisis?
Well, we generally work through 4 men. First of all, to collect information about the needs of the community, and then we preference them to see what comes first, and then within the means that we have, we see what we can do to salvage the situation that we can salvage. Occasionally, when it is chance and when it is possible, security-wise, for me to go down, I go to see for myself. But I would have loved to be there every day. You know the situations.
What do you think should be done to end this stalemate?
First of all, I appeal, as I usually appeal, for peace. The violence has never been the solution to any problem. We can fight for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. At the end of the day, it is dialogue and understanding that will bring peace and development into our community.
And to wrap up this interview, what are your plans for your constituency the next 2 years before this mandate ends?
As I stand now, my main concern for my constituency is the roads. for the past 7 years, no entrepreneur, no enterprise has accepted to work on our roads because of the security concerns. I'm trying to work out a way to see how the road can be done, because the people produce a lot, and most of those produce get rot in the farms. And 90 to 95% of my constituents are farmers, hard-working people. They have this very serious problem of evacuating their produce to the market to be able to gain some resources to sustain themselves.
Thank you very much, Honorable Bangmi Emmanuel, CPDM member of the National Assembly for Ngokotunje South Constituency, President of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the National Assembly, President of the Parliamentary Network for the Promotion of Investments, and Special Advisor to the Parliamentary Network for the Diaspora and Decentralized Collectivities. Thank you so much, Honorable, and we're wishing you more grease to your Airbus.
Happy New Year, ma'am.
Happy New Year. Lawmakers in Cameroon have placed their mandates on the development of human capital and also on aiding their communities. They've been acting differently, and in the following segment, you shall be getting details of what senators and members of the National Assembly have been up to in their constituencies.
3 pieces of land in the Soa neighborhood were handed out to victims of the Bankolo disaster by Honorable Albert Quinche, President of the Banjun community in Yaoundé. Beneficiaries are 3 families of Banjun extraction who lost 14 souls in the unfortunate incident.
We have seen what the government have done for them, and we know that all alone the government cannot do all.
An action saluted by both municipal authorities and beneficiaries.
It's very important for us to find solution and to give them financial support or material support to begin a new life.
In the Far North region, Honorable Salmana Amadou Ali, Member of Parliament of Diamare Center, donated a huge consignment of food items to his community, including eldest members of the St. Philip Parish, Doualare. In perfect communion with clergymen and Catholic Christians of the area, Honorable Salmana saluted the spirit of sharing existing among the Catholic community of the region.
It's a message that religions do not have barrier. We can be a Muslim. We want to use this occasion to thank the Deputy, Honorable Salmana Amadou Ali.
Meanwhile, Honorable Usmanu Dawai of the Mayot-Naga North constituency handed out computers and didactic materials to primary and secondary schools in the subdivision. The donees, on their part, expressed satisfaction as the initiative goes in line with government efforts to promote digitalization in the education sector.
This gift will help us to go to school and to pass our exam.
Honorable David Manfo, the people's representative of Bambutos West, also supported students with significant amounts of school supplies and didactic materials in the littoral region. According to the Member of Parliament, these school materials provided and distributed to students will improve teaching standards of teachers as well as the quality of learning of the beneficiaries.
And it is on that positive note that we wrap up this edition of House Connect, which focused on the economic, financial, social and cultural program of the state in 2024 and also gave you details of some of the question time sessions. On behalf of the entire team of House Connect, it's goodbye. Stay tuned to our programs on CRTV.